And we are live, you guys. So we want to say how excited we are to be back on the air, aka your YouTube channel. So don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'm super excited to bring back with my co-host Julian, the main pod.
Oh,
Yay!
yeah, we don't have the thing over, it's way over
Oh,
there.
dang it.
So
You guys can all applaud. Anyways, with this excitement, I want to just dive into it because, again, I want to start the topics of where have we been? I know you guys have been on hold for a minute and we haven't been back till today. So we're going to talk about where we have been with life. So let's start with you, Julian.
yeah, so I mean, as far as the main part of why we've been gone so long is because we moved brokerages, like we moved our office, and then it just one thing led to another with busyness and work and all that stuff to get the studio back up and going. So we're back that way. But since we were here last, I am now looking to do fix and flips and the investment side of things along with the retail sales of things. So that's kind of been my focus, looking for properties that are distressed and also like agent outreach and writing offers on on-market properties and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I've been doing.
That's awesome.
What about you?
I have also been busy with what we call life. I also now became partner of an escrow company. So Safeguard Escrow, quick little shout out, but we won't go into that because I want to focus here on the main pod and our conversations. But yeah, I have also been focusing on just growing that business along with real estate and just life in general. You know, it gets the best of us sometimes where we just need to slow down because it goes so fast and just get caught up and just stick to the fundamentals and really what's important to us in order to grow our personal life along with our business. But with that being said, I kind of want to piggyback on what you said on the investment stuff. So I'm happy that now you're on the investments. I have been noticing I'm getting a lot more calls from investors looking for distressed properties. Are you seeing a lot more movement in that market?
Movement in as far as what?
As far as, are you finding, would you say easier to find distressed homes right now, or do you just feel like because the rates are so high, people are not buying, so it's a perfect time for investors to come in and kind of swoop that market?
Well, I mean, what I've seen, because other than when you're going direct to seller, like a lot of them turn out to be listings.
Right.
And it's, but when talking to agents and going direct to agents on market acquisitions that way, I've noticed that there's a lot of competition still on fixers, like a lot of talk on the market where, properties are sitting longer, they're harder to sell, but the investment ones, they are still selling. And there's a lot of competition. I know that I've probably seen an increase on my text messages, right? We always get texts
definitely messages
from investors. But I think that comes from a lot of that is from wholesalers specifically. And that's been the challenge because a lot of these wholesalers out there, they'll do whatever it takes to get the deal under contract. And then they drag out the escrows trying to find buyers and trying to get retrades, get price reductions. So a lot of that's been going on. So as somebody, when we're writing offers, we're doing it where we believe the deal should be. I'm not going to lie to an agent and tell them, hey, we need to be at this price. And then just try to, knowing that I'm going into that transaction to get a lower price. So
right.
That part's been tough. It's very challenging. I mean, we write a ton of offers. So it's still competitive for investment side.
Very competitive. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm getting a lot more messages of, like you said, wholesalers or investors. Hey, if you see anything out there, do you know of any properties? Contact me directly. When you say you're writing offers, like what's the average right now for you, at least, of contracts or even inquiries about these properties that you're writing out to these sellers?
You mean how many offers are we writing?
Yeah, how many offers are you?
I mean, I'm trying to do 5 to 10 a day.
Oh wow,
a lot. Yeah.
And is it a specific, would you say a farm area that you're looking at, or is it just in general?
In general, LA, San Bernardino, Riverside, and Orange County. That's the area that we're covering. But I think too but also on the investor side of like we're needing to get deeper discounts. I don't think the sellers have caught up to that yet.
Mm-hmm.
The agents haven't caught up to that yet. But the buyers like us who are actually looking for fix and flips and the people that the wholesalers are selling to, which are the fix and flippers, they are all wanting deeper discounts
Right.
versus where we were a year ago.
And from these wholesale deals, are there any of them, would you say NOD properties, or is it, where are you getting these leads, or would you say like?
Well, most of the properties that you see distressed on market, I mean, there is some NODs.
Notice a default, sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of probate.
Probates.
And then a lot of them are just homes that just have not been, maintained. Something happened, inherited properties, things like
Right.
that. Is a lot of them.
I'm
Sure.
seeing a lot of probates. Those are the ones I'm starting to hear more of come on the market than the NODs. NODs, I'm seeing slight, not so much movement, but more so on the probate side of it. People trying to scale down and not paying retirees. That's what I've been hearing of the movement is. And with that being said, kind of, with the market movement, I'm seeing a lot more listings starting to come up than in the recent months. Is that kind of the movement you're seeing as well?
Well, I have seen an uptick in NODs, but we're still nowhere near what we were in 2019.
Oh, for sure.
But it's definitely gone up, because we get those leads too. And I've definitely seen an increase probably over the last year. And most of them are more recently purchased properties.
Yeah.
So with those higher rates, the higher price tags, people are having a hard time keeping up, I think.
Yeah.
So, and then as far as, what was your other question?
Oh, no, I'm saying as far as the inventory coming up in today's market, whether it comes from the NODs or the probates, in general, the market, I'm seeing a lot more listings starting to come up right now towards the end of July, even here in August, than we did in the previous months.
Yeah. I mean, I think we were looking before we went on air, like the May of 24, we're up to this year, or no, December till now, we've increased 20,000 listings here in Southern California.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot more. As far as probates go, I mean, I think probate inherited properties is going to be huge over the next decade, because we have all those baby boomers
Yes.
that are going into homes, or they're passing away, or downsizing. But that doesn't put them in those categories. But I think we're going to see a lot more of that. There's a lot of opportunity there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And also with the probates, I've noticed, 'cause I have a probate currently right now. Like, you guys, just because you inherit the property through probate and it's going through the sale, you may still be obligated. If the property ain't paid off, you still got to pay the property.
Yeah.
Because you can lose the home. I had one case where, they won it through the probate and they thought it was free and clear. They weren't paying it. Well, they end up losing the home. It's still another obligation, unless that property's free and clear, you still have property taxes and whatnot to pay. So keep that in mind. I always like to go out and educate clients and you as an investor, that the probate's coming up too, like those liens. You never know if those liens are up against the property too, as a wholesaler. That can be an issue coming back to you once you're in escrow.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of, well, not a lot, but a good portion of the notice of defaults are because somebody inherited the property, or it's in some sort of probate, and they can't. I mean, if you get a property dumped on you, not dumped on you, but like you're the heir to it, like you got to have the money to make those payments.
Exactly.
And so
it's not a free gift, you guys.
Yeah.
I wish
it is.
But it's not.
But you better act fast before
exactly.
It's not a gift.
Yeah, because you don't know if they're behind payments. If not, like the bank doesn't stop that time. That time is still clicking, and they want their money. So be sure you're on it if that's the case. So I mean, it's a nice little gift if it's free and clear, but still stay on it. Are you in contact with any attorneys to get those probates too? Are you working hand in hand with any?
Well, right now I'm not working directly with any attorneys. I mean, the probates that I'm coming across are just online. I mean, on market already.
Right.
Off market, we deal a lot with foreclosures. And I really like that part of it, because when you're able to help somebody, because for us, foreclosures, we're going direct to seller. And I mean, they're so appreciative when you help them through whatever it is they're going through, saving their house from foreclosure. But man, I had a rough day the other day.
Why? What happened?
So we had a client, because I mean, I think if anybody's worked foreclosures, there's like three types of people. There's people that know there's a problem and they're going to take action. They're going to fix it.
Right.
There's people that know they have a problem and they're very undecisive and they can't make a decision either way. So, and then there's the people that know they have a problem and they just don't care. Right. They're effing, like, let the house go. Right. So I had a middle person who knew he had a problem, and he waited till 5 days before to finally respond to some of my marketing. And then I said, hey, we've got to take action today. We've got to get a postponement, regardless of what you're going to do with the property. Because, I always approach them as like, hey, let me help you keep it. If that's what you want, if that's ultimately what you want, I'll help guide you through all the steps to keep it. But I'm backup, and that's where I'll make money. And there's plenty of people that are unsuccessful, that can't get out of where they're at. And then that's where we come in, either buying it or helping them list it and get a sale. So anyway, this guy waited till like 5 days before. I said, we got to take action. I'll send you all the paperwork and then I can do my thing and get it postponed. And so he ghosted me after the conversation over the weekend. And then come Monday, he finally responds and he's like, okay, Julian, like, let's do it. So we tried to go the first route
to postpone the sale.
And then the next day, the trustee came back, said, no, we're not going to extend. We're not going to work with you. Like, sorry. So then,
oh man,
he waited 2 hours before the sale it was on a Wednesday. He waited 2 hours before the sale and then made his next decision to try to stop it. And by then it was too late. So he lost, he had over $500,000 in equity. They were able to sell it at a decent price. So at auction, so he'll get some of that money at some point. It'll be a month or two or whatever, but he still left a couple $100,000 on the table.
Man.
And I felt horrible.
Dang. And that's what you get. And I don't want to say that's what you get. That's the wrong term to use, but for waiting for last minute, especially when you have someone, I would say like you, jumping in to try to help. Like, look, man, this is what we can do to save. And you want to be stubborn enough to wait. Like, these are the options we're given to you, laying it out literally, and it's unfortunate that he took action a little too late, really.
Yeah.
And the property went to auction. But yeah, people don't realize how much money they leave on the table. And because you're not being proactive, like you mentioned, or taking any action, you lose so much money.
Yeah, well, then you're forced to make decisions that you don't want to make, right? Even if he had done something at that point, the chance, like, it's still, he's still making a decision that would have been completely different had it been 3 months earlier. But I think part of it comes to people not knowing, because there's so many scams in this world, and and then like when people are going through that, they're getting bombarded by both investors and realtors and whoever else is coming out of the woodwork. And so you don't know who to trust.
Right.
So if you're a little bit of an indecisive person sometimes, or it's just a lot of pressure, people want to put their head in the sand and not deal with it and hoping something will come along that will make sense or whatever is going through their mind.
Right.
Along with everybody just coming at you, you don't know what to do. So I get why sometimes people wait till the very end, but then you're taking whatever chances. Maybe it is a scam, the person, maybe the guy is going to take advantage of you, maybe like, because you didn't have time to properly go through and have real conversations and vet people out and see who's really there to help me and who's there to make a buck off me.
Right.
So, that's what I think that was his situation.
Yeah. He, like you said, he didn't know who to trust, and that's unfortunate. Like in our industry, and not just our industry, but out there's just these scammers. Like you hear that a lot on Zillow, for example. My property is not on the market, but all of a sudden it got rented out from someone from Zillow or someone online who just decided, or noticed the property is vacant. I'm going to make a buck out of this person. And then that goes into the whole evictions. Well, you can't just evict someone and tell them to get the hell out of my house. You got to serve them a notice, and that's 60-day plus, and it's unfortunate. There are scammers out there, and people are just not educated on how to, on what they can do or can't do, or how they can get out of certain situations. In your case, you were trying to go out there to educate, to get someone out and help them get this equity of the property, and they just waited a little too late.
Yeah.
To get it.
Yeah. And sometimes like this guy wanted to eat his cake.
Have his cake and eat it too.
Have his cake and eat it too.
I messed up with saying too, so
I don't want to say exactly what we what plan B was, but we told him what plan B was, and he needed to act that day. And again, just like the weekend, he did wait until, like I said, hours before. And then the thing that we actually did do, it wasn't because he didn't want to do the thing that needed to be done. He wanted the work around it. So we gave him the workaround, and then it backfired on him.
Like
So
I said, well, that's what you get for being greedy then, you know? You can't be greedy and try to have your cake and eat it too. So if you haven't seen the show Greed, watch it.
is it good?
It's actually pretty good.
What's it on?
It's on, I want to say it's on Netflix.
Greed?
Greed. I think it's called Greed. Yeah, it's like investment greed. It's all different types of
Oh.
subjects. But anyways, to me, he falls into that category because like you said, he was trying to have his cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Waiting the last second, trying to do a little run around with it. You know, you can't be greedy, guys, when something's kind of handed to you and literally black and white. You know, take it for what it is for face value.
Yeah.
But either way, it sucks. He lost money.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know what else to say with that one.
Yeah.
You know, the longer you wait, especially on a notice of default, it's going to go into auction. We all know that. And if you don't, you know, our job, I feel, is to try to help and educate people out there of their options, right? To save their home, if not.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, you know, when you get caught up in greed, you know, your decisions kind of are not the right ones to make.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But wow, that sucks.
Yeah. It
sucks for him.
I drove home. It was bad. And then my truck broke down on the way home that same day, and I was feeling bad for him. And then I was stuck on the side of the road.
Dang.
So it was a whole thing.
No one came to save you on the side of the road, just AAA?
No, actually a buddy came to save me, and it didn't work out. So AAA ended up still having to come. So.
Ain't that the worst? You're like having it's added on, it's piled up. You have one thing after another. You're like, can I just get a break?
Yeah. Can
you just cut me a break?
Yeah.
But good things always happen after.
Yeah.
I always say that, you know, you always see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep pushing through.
Yep.
But anyways, from that one, did you get any more listings or any more probates and auctions?
Well, that was last week. So
that was literally last week.
That was literally last week. Yeah.
Man, are the auctions still really that heavy?
I mean, I feel like
I fell out of the game with that, to be honest with you. So I haven't been on, you know, I haven't been going to auctions anymore. You know, I kind of trickled into it a little bit, but I haven't heard of or seen anyone other than you that's now been hitting the auctions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hit the auctions. I'm trying to keep these people out of the auction.
Right.
You know, but I mean, they still go to. I think most of them don't. Right? They're gonna work with somebody at some point to save it, extend it, or do whatever workaround they have to do. So I don't think it's super heavy, but I mean, there's still auctions for sure.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Hey, another way to make money and get investment deals too, you know, because those are deep cuts as well.
Yeah.
So there's different options as an investor, especially more so now than I feel than ever of, you know, getting these inventories so you can, you know, essentially either wholesale or fix and flip or buy and hold. You know, there's so much out there and so many different ways and programs now, especially to become an investor or become the bank. You know, you can definitely learn how to do that, which I always feel like it's a strong point, especially in real estate.
Yeah.
You want to be the bank.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately.
Essentially.
Yeah. I mean, what does it move you from landlord to lender, right?
Yes.
Like you're moving up. So, I mean, we were able to do a couple of investment deals this year where we bought properties creatively.
Okay.
So, which was cool because I've been looking at that for a long time. So actually be involved and do a couple of those, it was really neat. And both of those were people going into foreclosure, or they were in foreclosure. They were getting auctioned off, and so we were able to save those homes.
Yeah.
So that was cool, and save their credit and help it rebuild and get them a little bit of money and all the good stuff. So
that's even better.
Those were cool. So
now, are you also helping them once you save their home or even get them to wholesale it to you? Are you also helping them on the flip side to reinvest that money or purchase another property? Or is there a follow-up to it?
Well, I mean, for them, so these people were in foreclosure, right? So their credit's shot. And so one of them, we were able to get a bunch of debt that he had taken off. And so he got to start clean, no debt. And you know, the way we bought him subject to. So so the loan stayed in place. The house changed ownership, and the new owner's making those payments on his behalf, which for somebody that's already in foreclosure, it's about to lose their house, their credit's shot. Like this actually helps them because now they have an investor in there or even a homestead buyer that's making the payments on time.
Right.
Right. So that's going to
showing a
build
good
their credit.
faith.
That's going to
Exactly.
build their credit back for probably 2 years, 3 years. They'll be able to buy another house as long as they do all the other stuff that they need to do to keep their credit good. So
yeah. So very important, guys, when you are buying a home, and I go back to this all the time, make sure you stay on top of your credit. That's a big thing. So like piggybacking to what you just said, you were able to get them debt free of a lot of, stuff that they had on their credit. Not debt free completely. Let me take that back. But you were able to help them expunge some of that stuff off their credit to now help them rebuild their credit for future. And that can essentially come back to you again as, you've already helped them once. Why wouldn't they use you again? So you guys stay on top of your clients. Keep the follow-up. It doesn't end with one transaction. I always say you want to keep that friendship. You want to keep, in touch with your clients consistently because it's going to come back around. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. We actually didn't expunge it. We actually paid his debt.
Oh, you paid his debt.
We paid,
I'm trying to get stuff off of my credit.
Yeah. No, we took care of it.
Take it off.
So I think it was like $60,000 in debt that we were able to
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's really big.
That's just the way the deal worked out. So
it worked out perfect.
Yeah, for him.
Oh, yeah, true. Well, they better come back around to you then at that point.
Yeah.
You're like, I know where you live. Come back to me.
Yeah, we still talk, so it's good.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know last we left here on the podcast, this was, I don't know, it feels like it's been a year now since we haven't been on. Probably.
It has been.
Yeah, I know you got a little more grays.
Yeah. Yeah.
So coming back on,
Thanks
I know.
for pointing that out.
Do I look younger to you? Anyways, I'm going to say yes to myself. But I know last we left the podcast, the biggest topic at that point was commissions or concessions, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was like a huge topic. Where is it going? There's a lot of lawsuits we started seeing come out. I know come back now pretty much a year full circle. Just like you mentioned before we came on air, like people are making a lot more money now with these changes versus before. They were freaking out. We're going to lose so much money. We're not going to make anything. But do you want to elaborate a little bit more on the concessions now?
Yeah. I mean, I think that the concessions, I mean, I don't remember what article it was, but I did see an article that said that the average commission per transaction is higher now, or compensation is higher now. No, concessions is higher now than what it was before. And it's because, I think it's because, previously the listing agent is going to
fix it.
They're going to set the price, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to tell the buyer's agent, hey, you're getting 1.5%, you're getting 2%, 2.5%, 3%, whatever. They're telling them that. And now, they only have to negotiate their commission at the listing appointment. So they can do whatever they want.
Right.
And then the buyer's agent, when they come in, like they get to set their price and take my offer, would negotiate my offer, whatever. So I think that that's really opened it up for, the buyer side. And that's where you're seeing the increase in commissions, and even on the list side, because now I don't have to, when I say 3%, it's a lot better of a conversation than saying 6%. Right. So I think that that's where the difference comes in, because, hey, I charge 3%. We don't know what the buyer's going to ask for. We can maybe even negotiate that the buyer actually pays for the buyer's agent. We don't know. Right. And then you get into the situation and then it's all fluid. So
I know. I always go back to, like, you guys, if you read the contract many years ago, for so long, it's always been set in place. You can set your own concessions. Back then it was called compensation or commissions, but you can set your own price. It's no one knew, I think, how to negotiate that via contract. And now that it's black and white, like you mentioned, the listing agent can negotiate their price, the buyer's agent can negotiate their price, and both parties can make more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, they've always been able to. It's just now we're kind of more forced to. I know that, like a really good agent friend of ours is Amanda Zito, and she has been saying this for years, well before we even talked. This thing came out, where she would always negotiate with her buyers what her commission is going to be, regardless of what that deal is. She's always done that, and she's always had good success. So
yeah, it's honestly, I always feel like it's just knowing your contracts, you guys. If agents get more educated, because I feel like in today's industry, and it's not to knock anyone's hustle, anything like that, but really learn how to how to educate yourself on your contracts, on your contracts A to Z. That way you're able to educate your clients and actually speak it, so you can negotiate these 6%, 5%, or whatever it is that you're looking to get paid on your side, not just a one-sided deal, and kind of just stick with that price point. So to Amanda's point, yeah, Amanda's been doing it forever. Excuse my French, but she's a little badass, like she's always been killing it as far as in our eyes, in our industry, because she knew how to negotiate the contract. She knew the contract. It's always been there. You just need to learn how to negotiate.
Yeah.
Everything's negotiable in real estate, you guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing that I took from her was that, I mean, she knew the paperwork inside and out.
Right.
She knew different strategies to buy houses. Like, she knew a lot of these things because she's, gone through all the training. She's read the book. She's done all the things. So when she goes and talks to, I think a lot of buyers, just agents in general, I don't want to say buyers, agents, or sellers agents. I think that they, a lot of them don't do the work, right? So they don't have that confidence going into a conversation to demand, I don't want to say demand, but to negotiate their own income, right?
Right.
So with confidence, and like, here's what I do, and this is why it's different, and this is why you need me over anybody else. Yes, you can go find somebody that'll do it for cheaper, 100%.
Yeah.
But is cheaper always better? No.
Correct. Yeah.
No, it's not.
And to that, I also think that, people are smart, they're Googling. So, sellers are getting a lot more informed on how to negotiate back with these agents. It's just about getting creative too. And like you said, Amanda knew her contracts. So they're going to renegotiate their pricing. And I'm talking about sellers. So it's about you learning how to pitch that and why use me versus Joe Schmo agent out there. The difference.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's a good thing, the change. I know, just like everyone else, I got scared in the beginning, like, oh man, we're gonna lose money, but I wasn't educated. I knew my contracts, obviously, but I wasn't seeing the bigger picture, I guess. So I got a little scarcity of that, like, oh shoot, are we losing? But when you get educated and know how to negotiate, you're like, no, I can actually up my price more and negotiate that bigger price point and that bigger concession versus a fixed one that I was getting from the previous agent on the previous contracts.
Yeah. Well, I would say, like, we have notes here. And one of the things that we talked about, like, from last year to this year, we wrote down accountability. Like, where are we at? What have we been doing? Have we gotten better? Are we growing? All those things. And I was just talking to a friend of mine, and she was going on a listing appointment, and she was asking me all these different questions about what could possibly happen, what they're going to ask, what does she need to know, and all the different questions. And for me personally, I've always struggled with, if I don't know something completely, then so it makes me, I have hesitations, or I move very slow forward because I don't know what I don't know. And that is something that always hinders me, I think. And so over the last 6 months, I've really tried to let that part go, because, and what I told her and what I learned from my mentor and what he was telling me, it was that even if I spend 2 hours or a day trying to research whatever it is that I'm going into, chances are, even if I came up with 50 questions that I thought that they could ask, and I had a rock solid answer to them, chances are they're probably going to ask me something that's not even one of those 50. So why even spend the time to truly know everything when you're never going to know everything anyways? And so you just have to move forward, and then you just pivot and you find the answers. It's no big deal. I don't know the answers. It's all good. But I know someone who does. They're on my team, and I'll get you the answers. And is this even something that is interesting to you? If it is, then we'll get you the answers. If it's not, then whatever, right? But like with the creative deals and things like that, I was so hesitant to do them. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to get into it.
And it was the unknown that scared you.
The unknown. Yeah.
Right.
The unknown. And
The
so
risk.
we just let go and did it, and worked out fine. So now I feel like I'm able to move a lot faster,
Yeah.
because I'm just working on that part of it and just moving forward.
It's that whole mindset, right? Getting out of your head. Like it's that really stops us from doing or moving forward or pivoting to where we need to go to be more successful. Like you said, you were really hesitant on doing something because you didn't know. Well, you don't know what you don't know. So you got to take that risk. I always go back to scare money, don't make money, and that's something I need to apply, continue to apply. But back to your point, that's awesome that you took that new pivot and now you're investing. That's great. I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
Last I knew you were still doing real estate, and even that was totally different.
Well, we're still doing it because I think,
but full-time agent is what I'm saying. Now you've added as an investor, like that's a big step in my eyes. That's big.
Yeah.
Now you're playing with you were playing with the big dogs. Now you're playing with bigger dogs.
Trying to play with the big dogs.
Oh, you're there. Yeah. So you took the biggest leap, which was doing it. Now you're doing it. Yeah. Not many people can say that still. Yeah. Everyone wants to be an investor and invest, but not everyone's doing it. The fact that you're doing it says a lot.
Well, I mean, the thing that always, why do we get into real estate, right? We get into real estate because we want to be in real estate. But in reality, if you're a realtor, you're just a servicer of real estate. If you're an escrow, you're just a servicer of real estate. The people that are in real estate are buying and selling real estate. Like those are the people that are in real estate, buying, and renovating, and making money off of it, buying and holding. Those people are in real estate. We're just services of real estate if we're just a realtor. So at some point, everybody should to make that turn and actually do what we set out to do, which was be in real estate. Yeah.
So for accountability on, let's just say your current goals, are you still doing the fundamental basics, like keeping track of your numbers? Because I feel like that's still always the number one play when you're trying to accomplish your goals is, making sure like you're meeting your numbers, your weekly, whatever it is, that number you set up for yourself in order to get from A to Z. For accountability, you mentioned your mentors and stuff. Is that something you're still continuing to do now? Or now you feel like, hey, I got to handle on this and I can just continue to move forward?
I think that over the last year, I've really put my head down and tried to learn a lot. And yes, I think I'm more just being in action, because if I continue to try to learn stuff, I have also another problem, which is shiny object syndrome.
Oh,
right. So
I'm Dory, guys, all day. You seen Finding Nemo? I'm like shiny.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm always looking for something different. I'm always trying to grow. But when you're always trying to grow, for me, it's turned into another shiny object, another way that I can grow, another thing that I can do. So right now, yes, I've got my head down, and yes, I'm keeping track of 5 to 10 offers a day. As long as I'm doing that on that side of it, that's one goal. And then the next part, now that I've done that probably about 4 or 5 months now. And so now the next goal is to come back to the retail side and direct to seller. So make my offers, make my calls every day, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, it's all about the consistency. I still say it's always the mindset to me. Motivation lasts very short, guys. Like I go back to the David Goggins and the Jocko, like that motivation sticks very, very shortly. You can only keep that going, but the consistency, the discipline. So it sounds to me like you got to be hella disciplined, in general, just and anything in life, whether it's dieting or growing your business or just anything with personal life, you have to have that discipline, which I know we all fall off the wagon. It's just getting back on,
And just to say, making 5 to 10 calls every day and looking at those properties and all that stuff is a lot of work. So any agents out there, if you have properties, it would be off market. It would be much better if you just call me up and like, hey, I got this one. What do you think?
Yes, just send it over to you. We can allocate everything over to you. You handle it, take care of it. I don't want to worry about it. Deal with it. Just make me my money, honey.
Yeah, get you paid.
Get me paid out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. So that's what you're continuing to do now, is both the investment and the real estate side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. It's you got to play with the big dogs to make the big money, and I like that for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm happy we're back. Like, you have no idea I got that phone call, you guys, or it actually became a text first. It was like, hey, are you available to talk? And I was like, what is this about? Had a gut feeling, but I was like, let me call it really quick, and hey, let's start the show again. Freaking excited. Hella excited.
She squealed in the phone.
Like,
let's yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this. Yeah, I was super excited, and I'm so happy. And even now with our upcoming speakers, or actually, I'm sorry, not speakers, guests that we're having on the show, I'm more excited to hear their stories. How about you?
I am. I'm very excited. We have a repeat person that she's a rock star, so she'll be coming next week. And then we have somebody that's a rock star in credit repair. Yeah. So if you have bad credit, or you're in pre-foreclosure, you might you might want to show up to that one. And then what can we tease them on the other one? What was the other one?
We have another one who's an awesome. He does VA loans. He also comes from a military background. So oh yes, and then that's our girl Fabi, but she does credit repair. But yeah, we have some amazing guests coming on and one repeat. She will be next week. So Veronica, we're excited to have you. We are excited to have you next week. So you guys have to stay tuned, stay educated. We're gonna keep educating you. And
that's the goal.
The goal is
that's the goal, is to bring in people
of value
that we can learn from and ask all the questions that we want to know. Yeah. And then hopefully you guys will learn from that, and you can use that in your business and everything else. So I think too, also, we're going to try to find some people that are obviously in our industry, which is real estate in all different aspects, but also outside of the industry.
Absolutely.
Entrepreneurs and all kinds of different things. So hopefully we can bring you some real value and some entertainment.
Entertainment for sure. We all like to be entertained with some fun. So we definitely have some amazing business owners coming in, I think, who will bring a lot of fun and entertainment to you all. So with the value, the education, the fun, the spunk, we want you guys to be live entertained by us and educated by us, along with just interact. If you have questions, please feel free. Put some questions up on the chat. What do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to hear? What questions do you have for our speakers and guests? And we will love to share and just go on with that, But with that being said, we're going to close out today. So once again, I'm super excited to be here live again with my co-host, Julian. And we can't wait to have you guys and see you guys on our next episode next week. So stay tuned for the announcements. Bye.